Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first gardening video of this channel. I have had other videos before, but they have not been posted. And this video is going to be a quick video, hopefully, of me explaining all the plants that I have or a garden tour. So let's get started. Right here, I got a bunch of Mexican fan palms and sables from Galveston. I got these guys, they were planted like nearby, and I just kind of dug them out since baby palm seedlings are really easily to dig out. And there's an onion over here. And sorry if I'm like stutter a lot. This is my first video, so I'm gonna get used to it. Here's a date palm seedling, huge, growing big. Right here's another sable that I dug out from Galveston. I think it's a sable, I believe, or a Washingtonia. I'm not sure. Mexican fan palm. Here is a real Mexican fan palm seedling from Aruba. This guy is huge, pushing out new growth with fibers and everything, so that's nice. Right here, here's a tamarind tree, whatever you call it. It's growing huge from seed. And right here we got a melon plant from seed too. And here's another Washingtonia, two Washingtonias, and here's a mango plant. So two Mexican fan palms and one mango plant. Here are African lilies, aloe vera, and this tree that I got from like San Antonio. I have no idea, or plant, whatever it is. And then right next to it, we got some Mexican marigolds. These are real sables here. They're either sable minors, which is dwarf palmettos, or sables, just regular sables like the Texas sables or Florida sables. I'm not sure whatever. I did get the seeds from here though. I got them from, I'm pretty sure they're regular sables though. And right here we got some more melon. Here we got an avocado tree, and we got a big island folk pine. I believe the sign is down there, but I'm too lazy right now and I have to rush this video. And it's like a different type of pine. I do not know if it lives in the cold. I assume it lives in the cold because it's a pine. So we'll find out because winter's coming up soon. Right here we got some like bean plants or a weed. I don't know exactly what it is, but I assume it's a bean plant because you can tell it has like a lot of these pods there. And as we move over here, we got some plants over here, some dead little pines that did not make it, sadly. It sucks, but it is what it is. Over there we got another tamarind plant. And by the way, all these pots were weeded out. They had so much weeds. I recently cleaned them today. It sucks that I haven't posted a video on this channel to show y'all where the weeds, the before results, but this is the after results. These, trust me, it says this one I didn't really clean out. This one has a lot of weeds, but this pot doesn't really have any plants, so I just let it grow and thrive there, the weeds. But all the other pots I've grown, I took out all the weeds. So right here we got another tamarind plant, two onion plants, like let's see here, 1, 2, 3 date palms, and one tomato plant, and one melon plant, or whatever that is. A bunch of weeds. That's a fake plant right there that I have on there. I don't know why. And here we got the bananas. Also known as the musabajus. This one, we did not buy any of these except for the big one. We bought this big one like a year ago, and we got it like probably half of its size. This thing is huge, and as you can tell, it has a flower stalk. It's huge, probably the biggest flower in the world compared to any other plant. And all these pups, we did not buy these. This thing reproduces a lot, produces lots of pups. I'm telling you, if you want to buy one plant and get lots of other plants of it, then just buy a musabaju, which sure, it might be $30, an expensive purchase. But at the end of the day, you'll have more pups and pups growing out the sides. Like this musabaju probably has like 8 to 10 pups, which is a lot. There's some that are really small. There's these two in the front that are really big. So that's beautiful. And we got some more melon plants, weeds. There's a little melon growing there, as you can tell right there, little melon. Nice to see. And yeah, that's really all for that garden. Over here, this is my garden. That's my brother's garden, by the way. We both have our gardens like here combined together, but we both separated too. He doesn't take care of his garden anymore. He's not really into gardening like I am. I take care of both of them, even though it's still considered his garden. Right here, we got the Chinese tallow. It's beautiful, self-seeded, and I'm pretty sure it came from that tree over there. pretty sure it's self-seeded. I did not buy any seeds. It just self-planted itself there. Maybe a squirrel planted it, or like it got seeded, brought it there. Some sort of animal brought it. Maybe the wind just brought it there. I don't know how, but a seed just got there. At first, when it started growing, I remember this thing. It was as small as a little like a weed or like any or something. I thought it was a weed, or I thought it was a sunflower for some reason, because I was planting sunflowers at the time. But it was kind of like that. There's a little branch, by the way, not a new pup. These guys don't produce much pups. I don't think so, but they produce like under branches, underground. And we got a little lollipolly pine down there, as you can tell. Little small. These both start growing at the same time, so you can really tell the growth difference between a pine tree and the Chinese tallow. The Chinese tallow grows a way faster rate than the pine tree. And then we also got a dog fennel, which is a type of weed. And yes, I know I should probably remove it, but I'm gonna keep it here for a little longer just because it looks kind of cool. This thing was so invasive, I had to cut a lot of it. You could probably tell I cut like the top off because it was going too far, which this one is too. I'm gonna have to cut some branches off this tree. I haven't yet, but I might start soon. And then we got some more African lilies back here. And that's really it for these two gardens. Let's move on to the queen palm. Beautiful queen palm. This thing is not cold hardy at all. But, well, maybe it has a little cold hardiness in it. And I pruned all these palms today. This thing had like 2 leaves that are looking a little bad. Well, actually, no. There's a little leaf right there that I just cut a little bit. That wasn't really a leaf. It was just like a part of the trunk. I just cut it a little bit lower. And then there's like a leaf over here, which I cut off. I normally throw my leaf shoulder in the forest because it eventually decomposes and just helps the soil out. So yeah, and this queen palm is huge. I got it when it was half of its size in like, what is it, Home Depot, I think. And we got a sago palm right below it, which is not that big, but you know, it's just a little baby sago palm. And what do you know, we got a lizard there. Beautiful lizard, if you can tell right there. As we move over here, we got a lemon plant, which looks beautiful. Did not get to prune this one today. I decided not to because that's lots of thorns, and it looks pretty good filled in like this, because when winter comes by, it's going to knock out all its leaves, most likely. Maybe not, maybe, but it looks really good, like a bushy plant like that. So, and then as we go here, this is what I call the tropical garden. Me and my dad designed this. Mostly my dad did all the work, but still, I helped some parts. And I have not taken out the weeds of this place yet. So you might start noticing like some weeds that do not belong here, that are not tropical. But those weeds will die out anyway in the winter. And so do these palms have a chance of dying out. Here we got a sable minor, the cold hardiest palm in this garden, most likely, except for the other sable there. But I really have not known which palm is cold hardier, the sable minor or sable. I assume they're both like the same, or the sable minor is a little cold hardier. But right here we got a ponytail palm. It's still considered a palm and it's still considered tropical, so I decided to add it in. And yeah, it does not really look like a palm, but it looks kind of cool, so I just decided to add it. And these guys are not tropical at all, by the way. These are kind of considered tropical. Well, not really. These are not really tropical, but these are a species of palm, considered a palm, a dwarf palm. So I decided to add it in, and it gives it a tropical look, even though it's not really tropical, but it's still cold hardy, so that's a good thing. Now, if you're looking for a really tropical vibe, here we got the grown-up Washingtonia. I got this one from like a garden center, and another queen palm from Home Depot, which eventually turned like that one over there. This one's way smaller. I cut off a lot of its leaves because it was just like, these guys are just battling out. I should not have put these guys too close. Like, these are fine. These are all spaced out, but the Washingtonia and the queen are just battling it out. Their leaves are clashing into each other. Like, they're just taking like each other's light and stuff. The Washingtonia is just being aggressive. Look at these huge fronds. I cut off some of the bottom ones, as you can tell, freshly cut off today, because it was taking up too much space. And here we have a little walk path, and it was blocking it. Right here we got a windmill palm, and if you're wondering why the leaves are so green, they weren't this green earlier. I just cut off all the regular fronds because they were looking really bad. I just left all the new foliage. It's green because it's new foliage, I'm pretty sure. And this windmill palm, when I first planted it, it was doing really bad. It wasn't like pushing it out anything. It wasn't doing anything. But now that I gave it some time, it's doing its work. And this is a pygmy date palm. I got that one from Moon Valley and this one from Moon Valley. This is a pygmy date palm. I got this one from Home Depot too. As you can tell, I freshly trimmed the bottom yet too. And I kind of messed up with the trimming. Sorry, I'm not a trimming professional. I didn't trim it right on the front. On the back, it looks pretty good. But on the front, I trimmed it way too much, I believe. But it's fine. It'll grow back really fast. As you can tell, it's already pushing out new growth. This sable was suffering a lot in its pot. It was dying off, losing fronds, and as soon as I planted it, like all this growth just exploded out. Like it was ready to come out in that pot, but it couldn't because it was overrooted. And as soon as I potted it, like probably like a month later, all this growth came out. It's just insane how fast this thing has been growing. It's been growing faster than your average sable for sure, just because it's been suffering in that pot for a while now. It loves it. Normally sables don't like taking transplants, but this sable was so grateful they got transplanted. It just loved the transplant, which is normally kind of unusual. Sables hate being transplanted, but you know, this sable is really good. It's a good sable. You can tell by the curved fronds and everything. And normally Moon Valley, they were selling dwarf palmettos, and those in this size, but there's one sable that was like this. They're selling it at this size. They normally don't sell sables this small, but there's only one of them and I took it, and it was like $200, which is probably worth it. And right here we got a sago palm. Cycas revolta. These aren't really considered palms, but you know, I still decided to add it here because it literally has palm in its name, so why not? And it's also a tropical look, so why not? And the Laura Bears, I know they're not a palm, but it's still tropical, so I decided to add it. And so is the cactus. It's not a palm, but it's tropical, and it adds that tropical vibe to your garden, or to the palm garden, whatever you want to call it. Here is a southern liver oak. This came with the house when we bought it. Right here we got a southern magonia. This has been living here for like 10 years. Surprisingly, for 10 years, it's not much growth. Honestly, like in the Chinese tallow, it's already half its size, and it's only been like a year old. So this thing is not much for 10 years. And here, some bushes, not expected to grow much. So maybe I'm just not used to it, but normally any tree would grow faster than this in 10 years. It's just weird how that one just doesn't grow that fast, but it's still a lot of growth at the end of the day. It's huge. Here we got an orange plant. Oh no, here we got more bushes. I don't really know that much bushes, so sorry about that. Here we got an orange plant. Has produced oranges before, and that lemon plant hasn't produced lemons, by the way. But this one has produced oranges before. Not in a couple of years though. It's been a while since produced oranges. So yeah. And not only that, here we got a sea grape. We got this one from like Home Depot, I think. And here, this big thing is a dog fennel. Yes, it's a weed. It's invasive. You can easily tell it's a weed and invasive. We decided not to cut it down because it looks pretty cool and it just makes a good addition to the garden. Look at that. It looks like a whole forest. We have trimmed it up a little bit. It used to go all the way to like over here, but as you can see, we trimmed it up a little bit. And we got like a tree right here, Eastern Red Cedar or whatever, Italian tree. I forgot what it's called. Sorry. Bushes. And then we got this pine right here, which sadly we transplanted it a couple days ago, and it's not looking good at all, turning all red. It does have a little green spots. I already fed it some water. Let's see if it'll make the transplant, but I don't know. It's looking terrible. Looking really bad. I don't know what to say. Like, it's just, it's awful, man. Like, honestly, what I've seen with pines, once they turn red, they're not coming back, but I hope this guy's some luck. Maybe it'll come back. Everything, it looks still pretty stable, but like, I don't know. It's turning all red. Did not expect this at all. I thought this guy would do it good in a transplant, but I guess did not so far. And that's really it for this. And see you guys later.